Good afternoon, and welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to Crackpack. So, last episode, of course, we were working in the library, and I got a bit of work done in there. But, to really proceed with what I want to do, we're going to need coolant cells. So today, we're going to be doing some miscellaneous tasks, and then at the end, I'm going to show you how to set up the text cards and stuff from nuclear control. So let's go ahead and dive on in. The first thing we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and set up some ink production because, there's been a few times when I go to work on Thaumcraft and I'm low on ink and I have to go kill squids. It's not really an issue since we live on the ocean, but we're going to set up just some automatic ink production. So what we're going to do is let's go ahead, and I think we're going to set it up just right over here. This area is just farming. I'm not too worried about, like, oh, by the way, right here I have, because for what I was setting up, I needed rubber, and then I also wanted some sakura saplings and some ghost wood, and I'm going to add a bunch more of these. But basically, these are just single tree farmers for stuff. Oak wood, things like that I use for production, so I use a lot of it. Whereas sakura and ghost wood and stuff like that, which this isn't running right now because we still need to do something with all the saplings. Or no, it's not saplings. Why is it not running? Oh, huh. For some reason that was set to, there we go. I got this set at just a lower priority, -6. For some reason, I guess I had changed that over to extract. Maybe I was moving it somewhere. I don't know. Anyway, it's running again. Yeah. Anyway, but I have these set up basically just to gather up the wood and the saplings and different stuff from these trees without necessitating like a really large area to do that. So that way it's got, just rubber and different stuff coming in. But anyway, we're going to go ahead. I guess we'll set it up just right in here. That's fine. Let me actually get my precision sledgehammer here. I believe the rancher is a 3x3x3. Let's see. No, it's a 5x5x3. Or does it go under? Okay. No, it's a 5x5x3. Okay, so that'll change things a little bit. So we'll go... Okay, actually we're going to go with something more like this for the setup. And then I'm just going to bring this up. I may need more of the light blue glass. Okay, yeah, I'm 5 short. Honestly, if I hadn't have set that one glass down there, I would have had enough, but that's okay. Alright, and throw that down. Let's go ahead. I'm going to put maize stone down. I've still got to do the corners. I'll do the corners later. Just off camera or something. So anyway, I'm going to use this as kind of a border here. And then we'll do these dungeon bricks. A little bit of combination of Twilight Forest and Runic Dungeons here. Oh no, we don't have enough dungeon bricks. Well, into Runic Dungeons it looks like. Okay, so we've got that set. Now what we're going to need is we're going to need a bunch of water. So we'll go ahead and start filling this place up. Like this. It should be just about ready to fill it. There we go. And then we're going to do it again on the next layer. And then let's go ahead and we're going to do one more layer. I'm going to make this 3 deep, I think. And there we go. So it's all just solid water. And then what we can do is we're going to use a jailer safari net, which is just crafted with a single-use safari net and some iron bars. And we're going to go get ourselves a couple squid. If I can find them. This is the problem, is sometimes we run into the issue of not being able to find. I wonder why those stems are there. The tree is way over there. I never planted. I don't know. Anyway, so let's go get ourselves a squid and bring it back with us. And we'll just put him right there. And I may... Do I have any more safari nets? Let me go check. Okay, I have 3 more. I'm going to go ahead and use all of them, so that we can have 4 squid in here, which will be fine. That'll be plenty. You could use, I guess, a soul vial and then put a name tag on it, but this way we don't even have to have name tags on these. They're just not going to despawn. So we'll put them out like that. And now all we got to do, you'll notice that we're getting some ink sacs from this. So let me... Yeah, it harvests these pretty quickly, by the way. Let me grab some item conduits and some energy conduits. This thing won't automatically connect into conduits. It has to go to a chest first. Okay, so let me get a chest. Actually, I'll tell you what. Instead of messing around with item conduits at all, I'm just going to use a white ender chest. That's what I'm going to do. So, snag that. And then we just have to give it power, which is fine. Let me set that there. And so all the ink sacs should just automatically go into this ender chest. And then if we just connect power up to it, which honestly, it doesn't even seem like it's requiring any power. And I don't know why that is. Okay, it is slowly running out. It must have been one of my wireless chargers. Probably charge it up when I pass through. So we'll just bring this line down. And there we go. So now it's got power, and it's slowly going to, or not even really slowly, it's about like once every 30 seconds it's going to harvest from each of those squid and provide us with ink. So, and I probably will spruce this up. I'll put some little corners on there or something and maybe a top to it, but that's fine. It's working now. So next up, I want to, you may have seen, I've got some solar distillers. These are actually fairly easy to craft. But I am going to, actually machine casings and stuff, my AE system knows how to craft now. Because I've got everything in order for our information displays. I've got everything crafted up, or got our system to know how to craft all that stuff, except for our coolant cells. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it up over here. Because we have this always day dimension. And of course those solar distillers only work during the day. And by the way, one thing I forgot to mention, I did end up upgrading these. I know I had some comments about it. Now the way they are set up, they have world interaction upgrades, stack upgrades, and some speed upgrades. Or 1 stack upgrade. And it does keep these filled with water. So they're keeping up now. I do still have to upgrade the heat on these. Forgot about that. But as of right now, I haven't, because we're good on the stuff. The only weird thing I've found that's kind of sucks, honestly, is whenever you log in, for some reason it doesn't chunk load this area until you come here with the claim chunks. So what's happening is anytime I log off and log back in, usually it'll run out of fuel and my reactor will shut down, so I have to restart it. It's kind of a pain, but I mean, at least it produces like an absolute ton of power when it's running. So that multi-block that we have set up is like pretty well full. So, but let's set up our solar distillers. I guess we'll set them up over here. They don't require any kind of power or anything. So we're going to do like a 5x5 of these. Just like that. And then what we need to do is we need to supply them with water. So we'll set that up, and then let's get ourselves just a couple buckets of water. Then we'll set up our ender fluid conduits. I'm going to say this is going to extract only, and always active. And then I'm just going to bring it onto these. There we go. And if we take a look here, you'll notice that it's filling up with water and it's creating this distilled water. It's not super fast, but it does do the trick. And of course we can expand this if we want to. And then I'm going to set the extract, we're going to say auto extract. And you don't have to worry about water going into, or distilled water going back into these solar distilleries, because they can only accept water. So plus they're going to stay filled with water as well, so they're not going to be able to accept it. Alright, so all of those are set up now. And then I want to set up an ender tank, and we're going to put it, say, just right here. That's fine. We'll put a conduit, actually, put a conduit here, and we're going to set this to insert only, and I want to get a bucket of distilled water. Actually, let's go get some dye to color this, because I don't want it to just be white, white, white. I want it to be like, maybe light blue. Alright, we'll just connect this, because I want to get distilled water, but I need it all to be together in order to make a bucket of this stuff. So this is, okay, this is distilled water. And this is, honestly, this is staying as distilled water. We may not even need to filter this. It's very, 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 very possible. So we're going to try it without filtering it, and we're going to connect this right here. If I need to filter it, I'll come back and filter it in a little bit. So that's getting all the distilled water, and of course it's sending it elsewhere. I think I'm going to have to chunk load this area, but I don't think, yeah, see, I don't have any chunks left to load. I'm probably going to end up adding chicken chunks to the pack, because the problem is I build bases so large that, I mean, I guess I could, what options do we have? Yeah, we don't have dimensional loaders. I think it's just anchors that we have, which are like 3x3s. Maybe just set up like a really big ender farm or something. Because my base is massive. Like, I mean, I've got 50 chunks. It doesn't even scratch what I can load. A lot of my stuff isn't able to be loaded at the moment. So I think what we'll do is we'll put the distilled water back here. If I can ever... Okay, let me see. Let's go into... All right, we'll set up our ender tank right there, and we'll do our floral powder. And then I just want to connect this stuff up. No. Say insert, extract, always active. Then we'll activate the tank, and there we go. So we're getting distilled water into this, which is wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Yeah, see, it's not running since I'm not there. So I'm going to have to go chunk load that. Let me see. I'm just going to chunk load the chunk for right now, and then I may end up changing some stuff up. Oh, that's one of my main things right now. Like, for a while, of course, it was power. Power I didn't have enough of. Well, now it's chunk loading. I've got to get this sorted out. If I didn't make my bases so big, it really wouldn't be an issue, but I do like my large-scale builds. So there we go. That's chunk loaded now. All right, I am going to go ahead and request like 110 plates for right now. And I think my next thing I'm going to focus on is getting all this stuff set up to be automated. But I've got to figure out a power source. I think we're going to do an IC2 generator before too long. Or not generator, but a reactor. Alright, so let's go ahead. I'm going to teach it to make universal fluid cells. Really, really quick. I'll go ahead and grab one. And we are going to have to set that filter for the distilled water. It's not wanting to cooperate right now with me. So we are going to have to set that. I'm just going to use... I don't think I can just get a bucket of this, can I? Alright, but we can use our universal fluid cells. I'm probably going to automate it so that we can say, you know, get a fluid cell filled with distilled water. Though actually, we're going to have to do an IC2 setup in the fluid building, because of course IC2 has a lot of fluids that it needs to handle. So we're definitely going to want that. So I'm just going to set the... There we go. I'm going to set it so that it only accepts distilled water. I gotta get this thing emptied out here. Okay, so now we're back in business. It's producing distilled water, and it's filtered to only accept distilled water. So our tank will start filling up, and everything should be running beautifully now. I'm still in bat form as well. Alright, so we're getting that distilled water, and you'll notice it's actually coming in at a fairly decent rate. That's why I don't think I'm going to upgrade to the condensers for this, because with 25 of those solar evaporators, or solar, whatever they're called, I can't think of the name of it, it's going to produce enough distilled water to keep us running, I think. So, next up, I want to get a fluid canning machine. Alright, there we go. And I'm going to go ahead and throw that stuff back in. And we'll go ahead, for right now, I'm just going to set this up over here in our workshop. So, shouldn't be a problem. And I'm going to need some more tin cabling. And I know that, I keep forgetting I have this. I know that, you know, I set this up actually in my Direwolf series, a lot of this same stuff the other day. So I do apologize if you've already seen that. But I need it for this setup like right now. So for what we're doing in the library. So anyway, we're going to drain the fluid from the tank, or from the sail into the tank, and then we're going to switch the tanks, and we're going to say we're going to fluid enrich, tank or sail. Oh, you know what? I probably didn't have to do that. Could probably fluid enrich with the sail. That's fine. But I'm going to get like just a stack of lapis. And let me go ahead and grab more distilled water while we're over here. Then we're going to have to macerate up some of this lapis to get lapis dust. And then we're going to put the lapis dust into here and start enriching that distilled water. Because what we want is we want coolant for what I'm wanting. We're not making overclockers, I promise. But we'll just do this. And then we're going to switch tanks and fluid enrich that. Now let's go ahead and get our 10 plates. I'm going to need more. Almost got enough to make one of what I want. Oh yeah, we're making plenty of distilled water. I need to get this set up. Maybe just to pump into here. Alright, we're just going to pump that distilled water out into this drum for now. And I've got to put nozzles on the front of all the tanks, because I'm going to have it so that we can, you know, extract water into drums or whatever from right in front of the tank. If we're standing in the fluid building, there we go, that'll work. And now what we can do is just say, let's just fluid enrich. We're going to say fill cell from tank, and we're going to throw our fluid cells into there. Where did my other fluid cell go? Yes, I threw it down right next to the AE system. Okay. Okay, my bad. I thought this was universal cells. It's empty cells that we need. So, whoops. So let's get, I should be able to put this stuff into the drum, and then I can throw those empty cells in there. My bad. Well, we got those universal fluid cells. We're going to need them for crafting anyway, so I'm not too concerned about that. So now we got to wait on these empty cells to become coolant cells. Okay, now we can do it. So let's teach it to make our 10K coolant cells. Crafting. There we go. Let's go ahead and get one, throw it in there. And then we're going to say to make our ranged upgrades, you're going to do that. Alright, and then we can tell it to make our advanced information panels. So very, very nice. Now that's automated. I just have to get all the fluid creation and stuff set up to be automated. I'm probably going to make another fluid canning machine, set up 2 of them. One will run the distilled water through and make the coolant, and then the coolant will go out and go into the coolant cells. So now if we order, so now we'll go ahead and order one of these. And there we go. And let's go ahead and get ourselves a text card. Did I not automate text cards already? There we go. That's how you create those, just paper and some circuits, some basic circuits. So we'll go ahead and get that automated. Throw that in here. And there's our text card. And by the way, I did set up in here, I set up a mechanism precision sawmill, and that's how I'm creating paper, is I'm actually just cutting down the, to make paper, it just cuts down wood into sawdust and planks. And then that sawdust, if you take and do, like, for example, if you take 3 sawdust, that's going to get you paper. 6 pieces of paper. So that's how I'm making paper at the moment. And of course, leather is just our rotten flesh. I forgot that we can just fluid enrich like this. I don't know what I was thinking while I was doing it the long way. So, distilled water, lapis dust, and some empty cells on the left, and that's going to make our coolant cells for us. So, I apologize for doing that the long way. By the way, I've got the disenchanter up here set up now, and basically I've just got all the armor will go through purple, 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 and then I've got this set up to automatically, I've got a transceiver set up right here, and this is set to accept power and automatically accept books from our AE system, and our AE system is set to craft books anytime that, you know, this dimensional transceiver needs them. So it's going to keep 64 books in here, and then the items are pumped out, and we've got, of course, enchanted books and the leftover equipment, and the equipment just goes into a trash can over there. And actually I can go into bat mode and show you how I've got this laid out. So right over here, the trash can is set with a advanced item filter, and I've got enchanted books blacklisted, and I'm ignoring metadata, NBT data, or OR dictionary, just because we don't need any of that stuff. And so I've got all of that ignored, so all the enchanted books are blacklisted, and then in here they're whitelisted to go into our filing cabinet. So man, we got a bunch of Unbreaking 3 books. I don't have all the books placed out just yet. So I've been doing a lot of enchanting and specialized enchanting and all that good stuff. So that way this just keeps everything disenchanting for us. And then over here, I've got some of these set up. I did make a bunch more of these advanced information panels. So like, for example, these books here, we've got Reaper 1, Power 1, Bane of Arthropods, and Sharpness. They go through here, and then over here, I've got a bunch of armor enchants. So we're going to set some of those up. Alright, so we're going to put this advanced information panel down right here on top. And you notice it's kind of ugly. It kind of sticks over the top and everything. But what we can do is we can downsize it right here. So we're going to set it to about that width. And you'll notice that it lines up perfectly with the bookshelf. And then if you want to, you can do stuff like this. You'll notice it kind of turns it. And if you use this one, it's going to tilt it, and so on. You can do those kind of things. I thought about actually maybe tilting it so it's kind of like facing down. But I don't know. Maybe bring the width out a little bit more. Let's see. Something like that. Still got to play around with it. Right now it's just flat, but that would be kind of cool to have, maybe. But anyway, we're just going to set it like this for now, and I'm going to play around with it a little bit. And then right here we can choose the colors. So I've been using brown and lime green to get the colors that I want. And then if we put a text card into this, you'll notice we get a new little panel thing here. And what we can do is we can just type into this and hit power to turn it on, and you'll notice that, or no, I'm sorry, I wasn't using lime green. I tried lime green, I didn't like it. I was using the white text. But anyway, it's going to type that out. But if you want, like what I've got over there, so it's all like labeled and has different vertical text, what we can do is we can go into this little button here, and it opens up just a text pamphlet thing. So what I've been doing is, like, this is Last Stand 2. So what I'll do is I'll go into here and say Last Stand 2, and you'll notice that it displays. Now if I want to, I can now say Retaliatory Kick, and we'll say Retaliatory Kick 3, and then next up we've got Feather Falling 3, and then last up we've got Protection 3. And so we end up with something like that. Now you can, what I have been doing is shortening some of these. It's mainly like Bane of Arthropods. That one made the text like really long, so it made it really small. I didn't like it, but these aren't too bad. I don't mind these as much. But what we might do, I'm going to play around with this for just a second. We might tilt this a little bit. There we go. And I think I like those tilted a bit more. I think they look better. Like tilted more than just the flat. So I think that's what we're going to go with, is the tilted look to them. And I've still got to add in like some decoration and figure out what block's going to go in the middle and what color is going to offset this and make it look good. But yeah, I think I'm fairly happy with that. So we're going to need a lot more of these. So, but I do have enough to fill out most of this bookshelf, I think. So I'm going to work on that and try to get that all set up. Now, next episode, we're going to be getting into the osmotic enchanter, I think. And using that a little bit. So I want to spend a bit of time in this room and kind of focus this down. It's going to be a couple episodes, or altogether, last episode, this episode, and probably one more episode, I think, to finish it out. But anyway, we've got our signs now. Really, really fancy, a little bit expensive signs, but I think they look amazing with the layout and everything for this. So anyways, I do believe that I'm going to end out the episode there. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, as always, be sure and hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe if you're not already for more daily videos. Like I said, next episode we're going to be working with the osmotic enchanter and maybe finishing out that room, and then I'm probably, between episodes, I'm probably going to start working on this last floor, which is just going to be a teleportation floor. So we're going to set up our Runic Dungeon teleporter, our Twilight Forest teleporter, and probably some other things. Pretty soon I want to bring our Thaumcraft portal over to the top of this. I want to try doing that because I don't actually want this here. I want a Thaumcraft, whatever it's called, Eldritch portal right here, because I think that will really add to the top of the tower just a little bit. So I think we're going to maybe work on that fairly soon, but we'll see. So, but anyway, like I said, if you guys enjoyed it, be sure to hit that like button. Subscribe if you're not already for more daily videos. And until next episode, as always, do take care, stay safe, and I hope to see you guys next time.